me just turn that music down ever so slightly. There we go. Thanks for the bits, Hayes. Very much appreciated. Thank you for the follow, Luca Fala, and thank you for the host, Andy Magic Knight. Let me say hi to everybody, and then I'll crack on with explaining what we're going to do tonight. So hey to Mr. G, SP, Microman, Eldritch, Fitrend, Russell Mills, Steps, SP175. I think I said SP already, but whatever. God, I've lost where I am now already. Kenneth Meris, Cyberflyer, Vostiar, True Tonnies, Carlton, Handley, or Carlton. We know you as Carlton. Anyone else? Amok64, Madzi 28, or Madzed 28, or Mads 28, whatever. Take your pick. Hazemaker 64 with his Smoke Pyramids of Jack Tramiel. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop doing this eventually. Luca Falla as well. Casper Poland. It's getting harder and harder to do this every episode because there's so much spam and there's so many people now as well. Foray as well, Grey Defender. Bad Sid 64, Acmafin. Sure, that's everyone. C64 Mark. That's everyone. I'm Prince Phase. Thanks. And thanks for the bits as well, Bad Sid 64. Cheers. No, by my first name only. Yeah, we know you as If people say Carlton, then we know they mean you. So, okay. So tonight's alcohol is I've got 3 bottles of this, which I haven't actually set on the thing, so I will do that on the break. So I've got 3 bottles of Copperberg, and I've got a bottle of South African Pinotage Malbec blend called Bruce Jack. Never had it before, but I do like a Pinotage, so give it a try. In fact, I'll open it now so it can breathe. How is Raiden moving forward? Oh, it's going to be a while. That. Oh, what the hell? The cap is kind of welded on or something. Okay, that's. Oh, there we go. This is Omega 65, Dev. Let me switch this over. It shouldn't be on this right now. I'm going to go through this code a little bit later on. So what I've said is I'll do the main game. This is just for this Saturday. This isn't going to be every Saturday that I do this. I'm going to do the C64 game till sometime after midnight, 12:30 or so, and then we'll switch over to Mega 65, and I'll show you what I've learned so far. If we say Carlton, we either mean Carlton Hanley or Carlton Henrik. I'd just call him Carl or Carl Henrik. Hey, Quick Tech Kev. I just opened a bar and said, "Oh man, yeah, so annoying." How is it up there in Rosendale? Is it? I mean, the North got it quite bad, didn't they? I know Bolton was shut down just before, like the tier system came in. They were on a local lockdown, so I'm imagining it's similar in areas up there. Okay. So what I want to do tonight then is, like I said, we're going to do the Mega 65 a little bit later on. But first of all, we're going to get this game up and running. So I think we need to add. I've got to remember the buttons now. Is Carl Henrik my Pycross rival? Oh, Ramsbond. Sorry, not Rosendale. Yeah, it's all the same to me. Yes, good point. Let me add the points. There you go. And I'll start the quiz for you as well. Where has it gone? There it is. There we go. Yeah, they all are. There's some seriously addicted shilling addicts in here. Okay, cool. So we actually do have an intro screen, but obviously it's the data that's in it's all incorrect. The high score table shouldn't just be the only thing on the screen, and this placeholder text here needs replacing with something more accurate. Um, I couldn't recognize that as Yogi Bear. My eyes are not very good, so. I thought it was a cat. We've got some sprites that Warlock I think did these quite a long time ago now. That we're going to put in the top up here. Different colors. We're going to bounce them around a little bit. So we'll probably do that first, actually, and then we'll work on filling this middle section in with something interesting. Let me get some air in here. It's quite warm. Okay, so now I've got to figure out first of all, where I've put all these assets. The number of projects I'm now working on is just ridiculous. So remembering where everything is getting harder and harder. Yeah, here we go. So okay, so we probably want to swap some of these around. So let me just delete those. So we've got 7 sprites. Let me open another sprite pad. See, that's too cold. We've got to find somewhere to actually put this now. So first of all, I can't even remember where the actual game sprites are. It's these ones, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Okay, yes, so we've got 7 sprites there. So I think that's where I was intending on putting them. Okay, so what I'm going to do in that case is I'm going to copy them from here. Paste them in there. Okay, we do need to switch some things around because I want the center of these to be different colors. So we need to switch multicolor 2 and sprite color. Thankfully, oh, I thought this had. There we go. Multicolor 2, sprite color. There we go. So they're swapped around now. Okay, let's save that. As a source level debugger progressed any? Oh, in this. Show you, I guess. I mean, it depends what you kind of want from the. Because that's not following it. Let me go to somewhere where there is actually code. So that's source level debugging at the moment, which I think is pretty decent. It'd be nice if you could change stuff in here and have it change these values, but it's not too much of a problem changing them on this side. But yeah, I think that's pretty decent. think the only thing I would maybe like to see in this is the ability to change fonts in here as well. Everything's this quite fat, chunky font, and it does make reading the source code a little bit more difficult in here. Be nice if you could put proper IDE fonts in it. But yeah, it's pretty decent, I would say. Oh, if I got NTSC mode on in here, looks like I have. So one thing, if you see this at the bottom of your debugger screen, it means you're probably in NTSC mode. Yeah, there we go. Actually, I'll keep it in NTSC mode because it's good for testing the it's good for testing the 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 timings of the intro. Need to investigate that. So yeah, it's really good. I like it. I'm hoping they can do something similar for the Mega 65. I mean, it seems a little bit early to have that kind of level of power in it, but it'd be really handy to be able to read what's going on a little bit more, because there's some very confusing things in there, as I will demonstrate later on. Okay. So we need to do the intro. So we have got an intro section here. So we just need to make it call bounty intro loop. Here basically. So do we have an intro? I'm going to put it in animation because this is kind of where we're putting everything else like that. I'm going to create a new file called intro. Maybe not in capitals in there though. There we go. Init update. Okay, so we're going to have the intro initialize. Where would it initialize actually? So this is our intro loop. Oh, we already have this title screen initialize. If I put that. Oh, we already, yeah, we already do have an intro, so we don't need that then. Oh, of course, because we've got the scroller, so it makes sense that we'd have this in place already. So, hey, Gunstar Hero, welcome. I'm gonna let cleverer people than me work out CC something. Let's shut on that. Honestly, I feel it's kind of nice because unlike like with the Game Boy, for instance, I didn't really know what I was doing, but there was plenty of information out there, so it was easy to find more than one source of information, and I think that's the key thing here. You need multiple sources of the same information to really kind of be able to gather that knowledge from online. So even though the information is there for some of the things, it's not there for everything on the Mega 65. It does all tend to be in the same place in the one manual. So while I mean, you know, the Mega 65 team are very open to people contributing to the manual and stuff, there's going to be a certain amount of there's going to be a certain amount of like demo code and stuff that really doesn't belong in that manual and would be better suited coming from forums and things, which will happen over time. But right now it's not there. Thank you for the follow, French Donna. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so my time has very much been just kind of writing to one value in memory, seeing what it does, changing it slightly, seeing what it does, changing it slightly again, seeing what it does, and just trying to figure out what everything is doing. Pretty much in the Vic at the moment, and I'm kind of getting there. I've got full screen, full color, 256 color scrolling. I must have went to retro game collectors with YouTubes. I'll show you later on. It is pretty much 6502. I've barely had to make any changes to what I'm doing. There's a few instructions which are new, but pretty much it's just 6502 with some extra stuff. So there seems to be quite a few devs that have got them as well, so that's good. It's going to be interesting to see what people come up with over this next couple of months. Excuse me. Okay, so we've got an intro here. So what I'm going to do in the initialize here, display high score. Okay, so this is, we probably don't need to do this right now, but I'm just going to leave that for now. And what I am going to do is set up logo sprites. So let's do this all. Let's do it all up here because this is all the setup area, isn't it? Okay. So, and this is an opportunity to have a look at the debugger here. So I want to just work out what sprites are being used and what are not being used. So, hey, Mega 65 Paul, welcome. Good morning. I think they should have sent free kits to people who wrote poor licensed versions of 80s TV shows. Airwolf 65 would be game of the century. Well, one of the beautiful things about it that I kind of, well, I mean, I kind of knew it was like this anyway. Why is that not loading? What's going on there? Is that a lot of the Vic instructions, a lot of the Vic registers, are exactly the same as they were on. Why is this not loading? What's going on there? Exactly the same as they were. Oh, wrong game completely. Exactly the same as they were on the Commodore 64. So if there's a register on the Commodore 64, it's the same on the Commodore 65 and the Mega 65. It just extends the VIC from the memory registers it use into it a little bit further. So actually converting stuff to Mega 65 would be a pretty simple task in theory. There's a few things you'd have to change. You would have to move some stuff around, but there's quite a lot that you could probably just port directly. Except you'd have the ability to run things at 40 megahertz instead of 1 megahertz, and use different color palettes and stuff. So, okay, so what I'm looking at is how many sprites are being used here. Now we're using 2 here, but I've got 7 in this logo. So, but the thing is that I don't need these 2 here. See on here, I'm only using. Let me just pause that down there. I'm only using the sprites here, so I can actually hide the ones up here. I don't need those at all. And you can see those aren't moving. But they are going behind this. I might need to just move them up ever so slightly. Yeah. So let's start by doing that. Let's try and move these up a little bit. So we can hide this one behind this this row of characters here. See this row of characters, so it would appear proper. Oh, actually, it might be all right. No, I don't think it's going to be actually. Let me see what happens if I turn these 2 off. So there is a little bit of a funny system for this. So you have the link for that C65. Hang on. For the Mega 65, you mean? There you go. Thank you for the resubs, and Derek, appreciated. Yeah, I think this is in one of the. I think this is in my default playlist. Okay, so what I need to load in here is is it title card? I think it's this one. There's an IRQ in here that's like really weird. Yeah, no, that's a transition IRQ. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Frozen Maiden, and welcome. So I kind of went down a rabbit hole with this IRQ and started doing it in a particular way, and kind of wish I hadn't now, really. But I wish I'd done it in a different way. But it's kind of a bit late now. It's been implemented very heavily, so I'm not gonna play around with it too much. However, I do need to get these sprite positions. So what I want to do is basically what happens is this IRQ triggers so that the multiplexing can reuse these two sprites down the screen, and each of the zones that it does these in can also set other things. So for instance, it sets the character set down here, it sets the character set here for these ones here, sets the background color and things like that. So each zone has a kind of set of properties that it can set, and one of those properties is the Y position of these sprites. So what I want to do is I just want to move these sprites up maybe 2 or 3 pixels, not by a lot, just so that this one covers the border down here, so that I can draw the pick and mix here without causing flickering or missing sprites. So I'm just looking for those now. I'm not sure where I've done that sprite. Set side sprites, maybe it's that one. Where the hell is that? Thanks for the follow, LGB. I'm just going to call you LGB. I'm not going to say all those LGBs. Welcome to the stream, and thanks for your help earlier as well with the emulator stuff as well. I appreciate it. No Mega 65 till about 2.5 hours, and then I'm going to go through the little bits that I've been doing. Nice to see everybody's IQ routine is full of magic numbers. I think it's so complex. All gloves are right. Yeah, well, to be fair, what I've done is I created this over time, and it's got way out of hand, and I wish I hadn't done it like this now. But too late now. Who chose this? It should tell you. Hayes chose this. Yeah. Okay, so right, let me think about this. So I'm looking at Y positions. So these are Y positions here. So it's these basically. So where is it getting that from? Oh wait, that's. Oh yeah, Y position. That's fine. Okay, so where is side sprite positions? These must be adding somewhere. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so where is the start? This looks like the start. So if I just move this up, hopefully that should be enough. The problem is it might be before the IRQ now, so it might actually show no sprites, but no, it hasn't. And just to demonstrate that has indeed moved these sprites, so you can see there it's just compared to what I was doing before, which was this one. No, yeah, this one. You can see there that sprite is showing a bit of border behind it, which I don't want. Whereas in this one, it's not showing the border. The border is hidden by it, so that's perfect. That's what I wanted. Okay, so that means I can stop worrying about those sprites at that location now. So now what I need to do is make sure that whenever those values are applied, they're only applied in the correct zones. So let's have a look how many zones there are. I think there's going to be 2 zones where we don't need to apply them. So here, yeah. So the first 2 we can stop applying. So let's figure out how to do that. Considering this is code I haven't touched in 3 months, this should be very interesting. Okay, so it's definitely going to be in here somewhere, and it's going to be something to do with this IRQ, not this one, this one. Okay, so we're setting the positions immediately here. But what we probably should be doing is checking this sprite index here. Oh, have I got to compare 0 there? It's weird. Don't know why I had that. Certainly not needed. But I do need one here. I do need to compare. So what I'm going to do is compare to 2. And if it's more than 2, I'm just going to jump to here. And hopefully that should... let's do it again in the debugger. Hopefully now that should not show the sprites at those top 2 low. I shouldn't have resized. Never resize the debugger while it's loading. Why is it? Oh, okay. It seems to be causing an issue. Ah, okay. Still need to push that value onto the stack. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it this way. Just make sure that's working in there. Oh, no, see that failed now. Oh, carry clear, that's why. Ah, but you see, it also, when the barrier came down at the top, so we need to make sure that that's not happening as well. So this is our little condition that we're doing some checking of here. So we need to make sure we need to make sure that that transition is stopped animating when we turn those off. So let's have a look. I have no idea where that is going to be. It's going to be one of these somewhere. So I'm guessing this index here, top index. I'm guessing that counts down. No, it looks like it counts up. Okay. Oh, okay. It's that check there. Okay. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky than just this. So hang on. So first thing we need to... Oh, damn it. First thing we need to do is make sure... God damn you. Position top index. If this value is less than this, then we need to always do this. So I'm going to put store y here. Otherwise, we check the side sprite index to see where we are down, which zone we're in. It's called side sprite index. It should be called side sprite zone, I guess. Okay, let's give that a try. I didn't see it at all there. Okay. If it's less than 46... Ah, because we're using the accumulator again, that's why. There we go. Cool. Right, and let's go and check that in the accumulator in the whatever it's called, debugger. Yeah, and there we go. You can see there's no sprites being used up here now. So now we're free to use any or all of the sprites up here. Now we will have to set the pointers back again here. But that's fine. We can do that in one of the zones. I think there's a zone here which changes the background color. So whenever it changes the background color to yellow, we change the sprite pointers to point to this. Whenever it changes the background to red, we change the sprite pointers to these values up here. So that's easy enough to do. Okay. So let's start by just putting all the letters in, and what we'll see is that two of the letters are going to end up disappearing as they get replaced by the side border sprites. But we should be able to get most of the rest of the sprites in. So those sprites are going to be here. Not in that one though, in this one. So they're here like this. We will also have to change multicolor mode for these, and actual color values as well. So multicolor 1, multicolor 2 mode, and then individual colors for them, because I want them to. I don't know if I want a color to animate through them, but we can try some different things out. But what I definitely want them to do is have some kind of bouncy animation. So let's start by doing this. So these start at 89. And if I remember rightly, the sprite started D00. So let's open up the calc. So 89 times 64. So it's E640 is where they're at. Oh, actually, I don't know why am I looking at the memory address. It's not the memory address I need. It's 89 plus 64. 99. Okay. Hey Zappy, welcome to the stream. How you doing, Mal? Okay, so where's our intro set up? Here we go. So logo sprites, okay. This is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh, it started off with it though. It started off with the music from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy radio theme, which is actually an Eagles tune, I believe. Okay, right. So this is our sprite pointer that we need to store. We need to store this at sprite pointers plus 0. We may as well just do this in a loop. Oops. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, actually, do you know it'd be a quick way of doing this? Okay, so that's going to set the pointers up, but we need to set the positions as well. So for now, I'm just going to put them. I'm just going to stack them against one side, exactly 24 apart. We'll work out the space in between them. Journey of the Sorcerer by Eagles. Yeah, thank you. I always wondered about that tune, and then when I looked it up, I couldn't believe it was an Eagles tune. Really surprised me. Hey, Miles Glorious, Gloriosus. Should be coding as well. I just don't feel like doing anything. Cookie clicker game on the other screen. Oh God, don't talk to me about cookie clicker games. I do get addicted to those sort of games. Hey, Cosmin, welcome. Okay, right. Let's set some y coordinates up, x coordinates up as well. Well, we might as well set y up as well. So let me do a little table here, and we'll just put the values in here. In fact, we can do this No, let's do it manually because otherwise it's just going to get confusing. So um, I'm just going to separate them by exactly the width of a sprite for now. Um, and we'll work out because they'll need kind of kerning sort of together. So 3, 6. Here we go. Now I'm going to put Y in here, but I'm only going to put well, actually no, I'll put individual values in for now, but it may be that I shorten this to just 2 values or so, depending on what effect I go for. So oh, oh, this is so annoying. I hate this about this. I hate this about this CPU. It's very annoying. Okay, we'll just create another table. It's fine. This is one thing I really hate about the Vic chip, is that when you set in X and Y, they're not in pairs. They're in pairs rather than uh, like just a bank of X's followed by a bank of Y's. It gets very frustrating, so I'm just going to do it this way instead. So just going to increase that, double the speed, and then I can do this. Okay, so that's going to set the pointers, is going to set the positions. So let's turn all the sprites on up here. I'm pretty sure something is going to turn them all off again, but let's just have a look, see what we get. So in the radio series, they do have some Pink Floyd in there also. Yes, they have. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I can't remember what it is and where it is, but yeah, I do vaguely remember something. Okay, so something weird is going on. Let's have a look. I think that's just because we're overriding that one sprite. But I'm intrigued as to what position. Ah, okay, so these are appearing here. D010 is obviously setting this off screen somewhere. So I'm sure if let's just make this a bit bigger so you guys can see. Sure if I go set this to that. Okay, there we go. And the reason why we've only got 6 and not 7 is because this one here is being co-opted by it, but we're not getting any sprite data in there. So I think I need to export my sprite data. It's going to be player sprites, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so now I've just got one sprite in here, no more. Don't know why. What have I done wrong here? Don't need that anymore. Sprite pointers come at X to a sprite frame. Okay. Let's have a look. Maybe it is just that D010 values. Sorry, D015 values set wrong. The sprite enable. I'll be able to see in here anyway. Oh no, they're all there. I think it was the color. It's the sprite priorities. That's why. Okay, so we need to set sprite priorities, which I think is D01B. I think they need turning off rather than turning on. Oh, no, it wasn't D01B. All right, let me check. How's everybody's Saturday been so far? Oh, it was correct. Okay, but it should be Well, is someone somewhere creating a game for Commodore? Because I love it. That's what I do. I played Warcraft. Please send help. Yeah, Catherine's been playing Warcraft today. She finally got a level 60. Found out my daughter's got addicted to it again. Yeah, it's really not practical to do Java on the C64. All right, let's get this bottle of wine on the go. It smells very good. Oop, sorry. Need to keep the alcohol on that side. My mic kind of gets in the way a little bit now. Got Doom for the Switch. Don't send help. Send more demons to kill. Doom for the Switch is impressive. Which one? You mean the Doom 2016? It's very impressive. Doom 2016 on the Switch. It's to be fair, the Doom engine at the moment is very, very well optimized. I mean, it runs at ridiculous. I get like 200 frames a second or something crazy for. See, it's wrong still. Okay. Yeah, I get 2,000 frames a second or 200 frames a second on 4K. So yeah, see, look, there you go. It's this value here is being overwritten. So that's probably being overwritten in the IRQ somewhere. So let's just have a look. Well, here we definitely have sprites being used in the being set in the IRQ, and the reason why they're being set is because we do have. I need to shut some of these down. We do have these sprites which are supposed to go behind here, so we're going to have to set these in the IRQ to turn them on and off at the right time. So that's fine. So we can start moving some of this code over from here. So it's just this one really that we need to move. So I'm going to get rid of this one, and I'm going to move this down into these little zones that I was talking about before. This horrible piece of IRQ code that we're in. See here, sprite line 0. So at this point, this needs to be set to 0. See, it's set here, D01B. But then when it gets down to sprite line 1, no. See, this is sprite line 2, actually. So that's actually sprite line 2, not 1. Sprite line 3. And then there's one right at the bottom, which I think is this one here, where they need setting back again, which I think it's doing there. Okay, so let's... Okay, this is a little tricky to get right, but it shouldn't take too long, hopefully. You need Java and Java and 4 people. You have no idea how they make it. Yeah, they're using some incredibly efficient engine work there. So you can see this is kind of right now. So what we need to do is set the sprite pointer for this X here in those same locations. So let me just put these in so it gets a little bit easier for me to read this. So for instance, here I can set the sprite pointer for that X, which is the last one. Here. So what I need to do is load this from the intro, which is called title screen. And sprite pointers is a global thing. Don't need Commodore X, but I do need like +6 here. So that's going to set the right sprite frame for that, but then we need to turn it off again when we get back to here again. Line 2, we need to turn it off. So I need to go and find out what that should be. B1 according to this. And we'll also need to do a check in here to make sure that this only happens during the right parts of the transition. So there'll be some extra checks in here eventually. So it's going to get more and more complicated. It really shouldn't be getting more complicated, but unfortunately it's going to. Oh, what was it? B1, wasn't it? Yeah, B1. All right. Because this transition is also used for game over. It's also used for bonus complete. So there's a few places where it's being used. So we're going to have to make sure that it's only used on the titles. This piece of code is only actually actioned on the title screen. Is this not called title screen, this one? Oh, title underscore screen. Okay. This sounds like Time Warp. Oh dear. Okay, I've set the wrong one, haven't I? That's why. So it should be number 5 that should be set in, not number 6. And it should be B0. Okay, need to look at that in the debug. I'm not entirely sure what that should be, but it seems wrong at the moment. Okay, so that should be B1. That should be... Oh, it's Sprite 6. So it is Sprite 6, but it should be B0. Sprite 6 should be B0. No, why is it wrong again? Why is it not setting those correctly? Instead, it keeps setting them back to 9F again. She should do it at the bottom of the screen, which it is doing here. Actually, I should be a bit past that. Oh my god, this is brilliant. ACXG 505, welcome. This is really good. Who did this? Wow, okay. 2013. It's pretty accurate. Okay, forgot what I was doing. Oh yes, Sprite Pointer. Okay, so Sprite Pointer 6. So let me just turn that off again. I'll just see what the hell's going on here, because it seemed to set both sprites for some reason. Why is it setting that one? Pick and mix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that Sprite 7 it's using? Is it not using the last? Oh. No, it is using. This is Sprite. What? Am I going too far on my Sprite updates here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, okay. This is 0, 1 to pick and mix, and then that. Okay. Yeah, platform game. I'll show you the game in a second. Actually, let me. We've spent quite a long time on this now, and we're actually close to finishing it. It's just kind of tweaking levels and graphical updates here and there that need doing, but the game itself is kind of fully functional. I'm just trying to work out what's going on here. Something weird is going on. I don't know why that sprite pointer 7 is being set, but it is for some reason. Let me just get this bit fixed and I'll show you the game. Dragon Force. Okay, so this is where the sprite pointers are set here. That's correct. Let's make sure that they're not set anywhere else. Ah, comma X, that's why. Shouldn't have that comma X there. There we go. Okay, that's going to work now. Which is why that one failed as well. And I think that needs to be B1, and I think that needs to be... No, that still needs to be 6, okay. No, 7. No, 6 there, sorry, B0 here. Okay, and that is happening too soon. Where's it gone now? It's got your game loaded in cart format. Awesome. Which cart format have you gone for? Out of interest. Did you use my my cart loader, or did you roll your own? Horse and cart. Steps. Leave the room. That is terrible. Magic Desk. Cool. Yeah, Magic Desk is a good format to go for because it's kind of easy to use. The only downside of Magic Desk is it does have some compatibility compatibility issues. So tried your own, watch both streams, use mine. Okay. Yeah, it took me a while to write that, so I'm glad people find it useful. And the beauty of it as well is you can, if you use it from the beginning, you can write a game that is for disk and very easily adapt it to cartridge later on just by changing one or two constants in there. Or vice versa. You can go the other way as well, of course. Okay. I mean, there's a bit of glitching on this, but I knew that was always going to be a problem anyway. It's just while it's animating. There's a problem up here when it animates in. You'll see that these things are wrong here, and the reason they're wrong is because it's actually forcing these sprite changes. So we need to get rid of those. I'll just quickly demonstrate the game. So it's a 2-player arcade game. The levels are not really set up properly at the moment, so you just have to bear with it. The idea is you stun these kind of candies, in this case cola bottles, and you eat them, and it makes you a bit fatter. And once you've filled up the meter at the bottom, the blue meter down there, you can step on this switch. If you're in 2 players mode, you need both of them to trigger it, at which point you can jump over to the door and go through to the next level. Oh, we still need to do the crown alignment as well. The crown's completely wrong, so okay, I need to make a note to do that at some point. In front of me, I'll remember it. It's easy enough. And yeah, so you carry on, and then in 2-player mode, you have this crown. So whoever gets the highest score on a particular round has a crown. and if you die, you drop the crown, and whoever finishes the round with the crown gets a points bonus. So there's always a little bit of competitiveness to keep the crown. I've killed the other player now. You can color the floor as well, which has an effect on your score. So if you're stood on your own color when you score, like I stand here trying to absorb those, he gets bonus points for doing that. If you stood on the enemies on your opponent's color, then they get a few extra points and you lose some points. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the problem we've got here at the moment is, and this includes is in this bonus actually, is that once we trigger that animation, we're going to get all the sprite crap at the side. See how it all glitches out here. I don't know why the bonus is moved over. That's really odd. Oh no, it's just because it's player 2. Player 1 has died at this point. So player 1 isn't being shown now. But when it's game over, we should see high scores for both players. So let me just get killed on this guy. Oh, I have to press fire, don't I? There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so actually only one player got a high score. Player 1 actually. Player 2 didn't. Oh no, hang on. I can control. Oh, that's not good. I can. Okay, so we need to fix that. I can control both. Both players can fill this in now. Yeah, both players have control over the same space. Okay, need to figure out why that's the case. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. We need to do some level design. There is a level editor in my Discord for people to submit levels. But we're kind of there now. Really, it's just in the polish stages now. There's also a sprite issue at the bar. Yeah, the bar on this bar on the left is kind of screwed up now. Because of these sprites up here, I need to change those. So, but that's fine. That's kind of what I'm working through now. So, okay. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set all the sprites to white in this thing. No, not to white. Actually, I'll set them to. I'll set them to cyan. I'm just trying to think of a color that stands out, but isn't going to conflict with anything else. So just going to do that here for now. Again, that color may be up here. In fact, let's just put it in because I think we're going to need it. We can always reduce these tables down if we don't need them. I don't think we will need them, all of them anyway. Whoops. So we've got a couple of places where we need to change things. So one of them is in here, which is setting up the sprites for the top section here. So the top section, we definitely need to set sprite points, but we also need to do a check here. And what we need to do is we need to check that we're only on, first of all, that this is not top. Which one will it be? Top index, yeah. But it's the same check we do. What the hell it was? Yeah, this one here. I'm just gonna put, and I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna put. But I also need to check if we're in the bonus as well, because if we're in the bonus, we shouldn't be doing it either. This one here. There we go. Otherwise, we will do the sprite setup here. So I'm just going to indent it a little bit so it's a bit easier to work on what I'm doing. Okay. So hopefully now that should get rid of some of the glitching on that side during the intro section. Hey, Mindrail. And we can see this. Oh, I missed the actual the coming in of it, but you can see that the cyan color is there. Okay, so the other thing we need to do is make sure that the sprite priority is set correctly. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to set it up here to this value so that it appears behind, and then we'll change it here if we need to change it. Should solve that one, I think. Okay. Close enough. Things just kind of pop in, but we can maybe animate these in a little bit. Once we get the colors correct and everything, we can maybe animate them in. Uh, 480p and things like my shitty note. Yeah, it's probably because I have it set to 1080p. Do I have it on 1080p, 60 frames a second, 5.8 kilo, 5,800 kilobytes per second, kilobits per second. So maybe I need to knock that down a little bit. Oops. Dribbling alcohol. Yeah, let me know, guys. Is it who has issues with the buffering? Is it just one or two people, or is it a more general thing? If it's a more general thing, then maybe I can change the settings a little bit. Okay, so we need to switch colors as well here. So let's do that here. So we're loading. This is probably why it's best to have it as 6 in here. Intro sprites color +6. I mean, I could just add that on there and do D0D, but D02D, but I might as well just keep it in line with that so you know that it's doing the same thing. City network. Yeah, I think it's because I do quite high bit rate. I do quite high bit rate, high FPS, and high. I mean, I used to do 720p, but it made, because I put the videos on YouTube, it made editing those videos quite hard to do decent quality in the end. You can hear 100%, but the video is stuck from 5 minutes ago. Surprise Challenge doesn't get the quality option. Only partners are guaranteed the quality option. Everyone else is on like a queue system. I think it does matter how many people you have watching you, whether or not you get moved up the queue a little bit, but only partners are actually guaranteed the quality option. Okay. It's 100% your device. Okay, yeah. It's probably because of the bit rate. It's quite a high bit rate and quite a high frame rate as well. It's probably just struggling because it's 60 frames per second video. Okay, so we need to do the same thing with the colors down here as well. So whenever I do the little reset, which was... What's that gone? Oop. Pressed the wrong button then. It all got bigger. Here, basically. Thanks for the follow, Aldo Barazzuti. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the madness that is 6502 Assembly. I love it. We all love it here. We're all a little bit mental. Okay. Hopefully that should be the colours fixed now. At least for the... Okay, not quite. What the hell? Why is that suddenly doing that? Is my timing that bad? Oh, that's weird. Why does setting that colour there cause that issue? That's very strange. All right, maybe that +6 is doing something weird. I can't imagine it is, but that's bizarre. That is actually bizarre. So sets the background to yellow, yes. Sets the sprite color correctly, yes. Sprite priority. It's like this is skipping it for some reason. Have I made a mistake up here somewhere? Hang on. No. No, it's literally just if I... Oh, hang on. Should be that, shouldn't it? Why am I not doing that everywhere? Okay, strange. Don't know why I wasn't doing that. And even more importantly, why it was even working. Because it shouldn't have been working. There we go, cool. Right. So all that's left now is to put these two things into place. I don't know why that one's not showing. There's no reason that one shouldn't be showing. So let's open that up in the debugger. Take a look. Okay, well, it's there, but it's not oh, it's the D010 value. Okay. I don't see... Oh, I do see. So, right. The reason why that's happening is because we've also got another sprite, which we need to take care of. Oops. So our little text scroller has a sprite down here, or it should have a sprite down here, except it's not because it's off the screen here. But this sprite should basically sit here and fade this text in as it comes on. And we spent some time to make it do the effect that we're doing, so I'm going to make sure that that gets restored as well. Why it's at that position though, why I've used this one, I don't know. But okay, whatever. So sprite +2. So let's go and have a look at that in the beginning up here. Oh, that's going to be an intro, isn't it? Okay, so actually this is quite simple. Because it's part of the intro and not used anywhere else, I just need to make sure I store the setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put here, I'm going to call it D010 store. And I'm just going to put a byte in it like that. And then what that's going to do Actually, it shouldn't matter on the other screens. Oh no, we are using other sprites though, so it is going to matter. Okay. Yeah, it is going to matter. All right. So when we get down to the, sorry, when we get to this part here at the beginning of the transition code here, what I need to do is, if we're not skipping anything and we are actually displaying this sprite section, is I need to load the value that's currently in D010, store that at D010 store. Then that means when I get to here, I can put the value back again. And so here I can put, so there we go. It's funny how some things can take longer than a lot longer than like bigger things. Like I did some stuff in Checkanoid on Thursday, which definitely should have taken me quite a while, and it was probably done quicker than this. And this is just a logo, so but this is life. This is what happens. Okay, so the other thing I noticed we need to do is multicolor mode here, which I believe is, oh, I want to say D01C. I cannot remember. It is D01C. Okay. So again, we need to turn it all on in here. And turn it off in here. Now, I have a feeling we may have to kind of play around with these store values a little bit, and make this a kind of setting that we set up in the intro. So we have like a stored value. Yeah, I think we're probably going to have to do that. I just want to see if I can get it working first. So. Okay, cool. The reason I say that is because that's going to be a problem when you come to the bonus now. So I just get into the bonus. Shit. God, they're so slow when they're fat. It's ridiculous. Yeah, see, look, it's breaking this down here, and the D010 value is probably going to break this. Also, it breaks the level sprite up here as well. So there's a couple of things we need to sort out here. So okay, let's do that before we continue with the next step. So so I'm going to call it D010 main and D0. Well, let's. Sprite MSB main and what's D01C again? Sprite multicolor main. And what these values are basically going to be, instead of them being loaded and stored from here, I'm going to just put them up the top here, and they're going to be set up by the initialize function. So as soon as initialize is called, well, straight after the initialize, basically, we need to set these values in here, and these values are the default values for the middle of the screen. Which means we don't need to record them in the middle. So don't need to do that. But we do need to, in here, whenever title card is initialized, whatever it's called. Is it called title card initialize? Title card initialize, yeah. So it comes into here. Title card transition in. Where's title card initialize? I'm not seeing it in here. Title card update ready. Title card is in here. No. Oh, it's part of the transition in. That's why. Okay, so here basically we need to set the main screen. So main screen is 04 for Sprite MSB main in title card. And multicolor is off here. And then on the bonus, which is here, the MSB is, I have no idea what the MSB is for the bonus. Let's have a look. Just seems to be leaving everything on and turning that one off, but let me check for more versions of that. Okay. Okay, I don't know why it's that, but let's try that. And everything is, oh no, not everything is multicolor here. So T01C. Okay. Oops. Try 1C over here. Okay, I think that might work for those two. So what these are doing, these are just setting the default values because we reuse this piece of code all over the show. We do need to set these values. Is that not Sprite MC, mate? God damn you. I'm going to take a short break in a minute. Oh. The game as a whole could probably be done on a 64. What game? What do you want to bet? Hey, Decor 29, welcome. Oh, Lost Patrol. Okay. I was going to say, you realize this is on the 64, right? I thought you were talking about this game. Let's load in. Okay, so it looks fine on here. I mean, there's still that glitching at the top there. I'm not entirely sure what's causing that. I think it's just a timing issue with the sprites. I can probably just shuffling the IRQs up a couple of lines might fix that. Okay, good. The only one that's wrong is this one up here. It's not appearing now. So let me just start again. I want to try in 2 players, make sure that's working. Okay, so just complete. So I've only got 1 live, so I probably need to get that guy off of that platform up there to a platform that he's not going to die on. And then try and hopefully kill all of these. There we go. Are the enemy sprites also meant to move with the floor as it shakes? They don't currently, but there's no reason we couldn't do that. At least I don't think they do currently. Okay, yes. So the crown has an issue here as well, D010. So good to know. So let's have a look. So let's find all the locations where that's done. Okay, so this is adding the crown. So what we need to do is take this value here. Like so. Thanks for the follow, Jersey Saw. I like it. I'm just going to quickly test that the crown is working again, and then I will take a quick break. So I think we're looking at, obviously, I don't think it's going to be this year now that this gets released. But I know, I don't know if Zappy's still in the chat, but I know Bitmap Soft, Zappy is Bitmap Soft is interested in doing the release for this, and we're thinking 2021 for it, which makes kind of sense. Obviously, it will be available for digital download for a relatively small amount, just a kind of token amount to stop CSDB listing it for free, and taking credit where it's not due. Oh, that's still not right. Interesting. Is there another place where that's being done? Oh, it's done there as well. Okay. Yeah, I mean they're gonna crack it. That's definitely gonna happen, and they're gonna share it amongst their own little pathetic group of friends where there's gonna be however many there are that they get it for nothing, which I kind of expect. Pirates will be pirates. What I don't agree with is them taking credit for anything at all, um, and taking kind of basically they're probably going to do a shit job of the crack anyway. Which is what they generally tend to do, and provide something that just breaks in NTSC mode or something like that. So I'd rather just kind of protect it against that. Plus, I do want to make this a physical release. Whatever the physical release is, I'm trusting Bitmap Soft to just come up with a whatever it costs them to make and whatever they want to take from it. I don't want to take any profit from it whatsoever. Um, it will just be sold at cost price, so that if you guys want a copy of it, you can get a copy of it. Oh god damn it! I got too many points for this guy. Need to do it again. All right. In fact, I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we'll check that out. And then continue going through and checking these things. We do need to fix the high score thing. I'm going to do about another hour and a half, and then I'm going to go through some of the Mega 65 stuff that I've done. And hopefully, if any of the Mega 65 team are on, we can ask some questions as well at that point. All right, I'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes, guys. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Right, let's get cracking on with this wine. Let's get this fan stopped as well. It's getting bloody freezing in here. Oh, alcohol. Where would I be without alcohol? It's the liquid logic that I need. Okay, right. So I was going to check. Oh yeah, I need to play and get player 2 to get the most points. Okay, so let's actually play player 2 then. I'll get through the door first. So if I just play with player 2 and get through the door before anyone else, it should be all right. No, I've died. God damn it! All right. I need to put all the lives back in. Okay, so here we go. No, oh, I've done it the wrong way around again. Yeah, wrong way around. Got to go through the door first with the blue guy. Man, testing edge cases is tedious work. Door first with the blue guy, then all the points are mine and I'll get the crown. Right. Crown is blue guys now. Hopefully it appears on the right side of the screen. She does. Awesome. Okay. So the only thing we're missing is the level icon up here. Now that's probably because it's being displayed. It's being moved by something else, maybe. So now I'm gonna have to do it in the debugger. How's the quiz looking? Oh, Hayes is a good 100k out in front now. I think this season is Hayes's. Oh my god, it starts 2 players, doesn't it? Okay, I don't care who gets what here, um, but I do need both players to hit that at the same time, and they're not going to. Oh man, how am I going to get both of them on there? I just need to. Go. Sorry, just turn the message. Okay, it's fine. There we go. Right. See, it's there. It's just appearing in the wrong priority. I think that's all it is. I just need to set D01C, D01B even. Believe that's what it is anyway. Let's have a look. So, because it's definitely there. Priority is foreground has priority, so D01B is probably wrong. Yeah, it's being reset. So I need to I need to set that as well. Wait, hang on, that should be being okay. So we have our little check here where we check if that's done or if it's the bonus. That should still be set. Yeah, okay. I think that's right. It's Christmas in October. Yeah, it was a bit extreme, but I don't mind. I need to get some time to sort the quiz out as well. I really want to get the multi-platform quiz going. I think it's going to be pretty neat, actually. Oops. There we go. Awesome. Right. So that's working correctly now. So I don't need to worry too much about that now. So what we're looking at now is the intro again. We'll get there in the end. Right. So what's missing here is the X off the end. And the reason the X is missing off the end is probably because it's being replaced by one of these down here. So let's just have a look again in. It's just a logo. This is taking so long. It's crazy. It's because of all the crazy splits that are going on this screen. That's why. You see the X is down there, and then it's not anywhere up here. It's just stayed at the bottom. It hasn't been removed up here. So we need to move that to match here, which we can do in here. Oops. So this is load title screen. Intro sprite Y plus 6. Times 2 because it's the X and Y stuff. And that should hopefully stick it at the top. And oh, one more thing we need to do. God, it's never ending, is it? Is the horizontal expansion of the sprite needs to be turned off here. And then turned turned off here and turned back on lower down. It's a side sprite, so it's fine. I don't need to store the value anywhere, but I can't remember if it's D017 or something. No, it's double height. What's the double width? D01D. Okay. Now there should be another one of these somewhere. There it is. So just turning that value on. I don't know why I keep doing with the ors there, but that's fine. So here, basically. So this would be 40 store at D01D. There we go. Hopefully should give us pick and mix fully written across the top. Nope, it's... What the hell has that done? That's broken something hugely. Okay. I'll tell you what, first of all, before we do that, I'm going to set the position, the Y position, X position, sorry. And that should be D01, that's why. So it's Y, there we go. I think that was it, actually. It's probably fine. Let's put that back. It's not called Let's Make a Game Preview. Okay, so the letters are all there now. Obviously, the positions are wrong. This is wrong now because this needs to be reset. So this bit here also needs to be here as well. So I think we can set it to 1.8. So get there in the end. Oh, not quite. And the reason for that is we need to check the transition as complete again. but we're only going to do that here on this bit. So let's call it X restore. There we go. Oh, it still didn't do it. You see, it's not. It's transition top index. If that's so, it should be moving in with the other thing, and it's not doing. It's okay. So it's D00C. So let's see where that is. That's this bit here. So this is the transition side sprite stuff. Yeah, see, that should not, maybe that shouldn't be being set. Maybe that's automatically set. So let's get rid of that one. Where's it gone? This is a horrible. I'll be so glad when this game is over because this is a horrible hierarchy function. I don't ever want to touch this ever again. It's so messy, so messy. It's ridiculous. No, see, it's if I don't set that position. So if I don't set that there, what do I get? I still get that piece down the side there. But all I've done in order to facilitate that is, oops, is change this Y position here and the double width thing here. I just comment all of these out for a second. Let's put that down there as well because that belongs to the same thing. See, that came in correctly then. It has a flash. The reason it has a flash is because of this up here. But the thing like comes in properly. But the moment I change this one here, so the moment I set that value at the top for the P, well, for the X actually. Hey, Monopoly 79, welcome. You see, it goes over here, but it does scroll incorrectly. So it is scrolling incorrectly here. Ah, hang on. Maybe I shouldn't be checking top index, but I should be checking side index because there is a side index as well. Okay, so Sprite index. This is just getting so messy. Oh, it's not actually. It's not side sprite index. Sorry, it's side sprite positions. Maybe. No, I don't think that's right either. Transition side index. There we go. Yeah, but there's no check on the side index. Interesting. Okay, so we're relying completely on the top index to stop. Okay. I think that's not messy or not. Yeah, it is messy. It's not so much that it's messy; it's just badly designed, that area. So I just need more alcohol. That's what okay, right. Where was I at? So if I set this, it goes wrong once the transition is out completely. So if I do a check here to say, is the transition out completely? If it's not, jump to here. Otherwise, please set my value to that. Okay, now what's that going to do? Oh, that worked. Okay. Okay, cool. So now let's set the Y position and turn off the expanded sprite. Okay, so obviously the expanded sprite is breaking here. So I need to make sure that that gets expanded. The X is in place now. So that is this one here, which it should always be expanding. Is this just the wrong number? Have I set the wrong? Hang on. Let's just run it and see what happens. I can't remember which sprite is which there. See, like, why is that? Maybe if I put that in here as well. Boom, there we go. Whew. Right, okay, cool. So next job is to move these in a bit. So at the moment things are 24 pixels apart, but not everything is 24 pixels wide. So we just have a look in here. So that is, I'll leave the space after the K because it's a new word. This though needs reducing. So I'm going to reduce this down to 8 instead of 24. So after the second sprite, everything needs to be reduced by 16. Okay, so sprite here. So after this one, everything needs to be reduced by 16. So that's easy enough. No, it needs kerning wise. That looks wrong. I think it needs moving 2 pixels across. That's better. Okay, then after the N, things need moving in a little bit here as well. So let's take a look again at the sprites. So this sprite is 12 wide. The gap here is 6 wide. So if we knock another 6 off this, let's knock 4 off because I think the light color on this side is going to make it look different. So so let's knock 4 off after the fourth one. So 2, 3, 4. So 4 off of these. Okay, so this becomes 7E. 6, and that becomes 8E. So, and then finally there will be another kern here where this one here needs to come in 1 0 plus 2. So it needs to come in 0E on this one. Not this one, this one. So that'd be that. think that should be right. Just thinking about the multicolor stuff, I think that's going to need a similar setup. I think that looks good. Okay, but obviously I don't want it there. I want it to be in the middle somewhere. So what I'm going to do is at the same time I'm going to have intro sprite X offset. And if I add, I'm just going to try centering this. So I'm going to add 4 to each of these. So yeah. Oops. It needs to be a bit more over, doesn't it? Because even though it's centered on here, actually maybe not. A little bit, maybe. Let's move it over one more on each one. So yeah. Yeah, that looks better. Cool. So even though that is slightly off center, it's also slightly off center in this middle section as well. So it actually looks kind of balanced on the screen. Can maybe tweak those values a little bit, but I'm kind of happy with how that looks now. So what I want to do is get the colors right here as well. So that means we need to set sprite colors in in here. So sprite colors are D025 and D026. So we need to figure out what the shadow color should be here. So let's make the background red, because this is what we see. And then let's set these all to all to cyan. Let's just arrange this so I can see them all on one row. There we go. Okay, so I kind of think it should just be quite a simple highlight shadow. So it would be like light gray on that side and dark gray on that side, maybe slightly less light gray on that side, like so. And then on these, you can then do any color you want, and it will stand out. Then obviously any color except red. Although purple kind of looks crappy as well. So but I think these should also flash. So if we just go through, if we just set those 2 colors, so if we do 0B, 025, 0C at D026, that should set those multicolors kind of correct. Yeah, so we've got the highlight on the top, shadow on that side. That kind of looks okay. And then what we can do is we can either flash them all the same color. We can run a color loop through them. But what I'd suggest that we do is in this section here now, we have update logo sprites. And I'm actually going to run that in title screen. So then what we can do in here is we can do various things to these colors, and then actually apply them again in here. So it's almost like this. Yeah, let me come down to here. Let me change this to apply logo sprite data. We can set the X, we can set the Y, we can set the color. The pointers can stay the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put it into here. I'm going to put an RTS on the end. I'm going to get rid of the pointers. And then I'm going to change this method to get rid of everything except the sprite pointers. So the only thing this routine is doing is setting the sprite pointers. And then it can call apply logo sprite data. And that means we can call this every frame then, you see. So we would do apply logo sprite data. But then in here, we can also do some update sleeve. So let's start by just doing a simple sprite color flash through. Would be nice if the letters bounce in a sine wave. Yeah, they're going to, but what I want to do is I want to do the alternate. So alternate letters are going to bounce up and down, so they'll kind of weave in and out of each other. But I might do separate sine waves on them as well. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to do now, which is why I asked Warlock to do them as separate sprites. I assume, would you like to pass it? No. Please don't spam irrelevant links in the chat. I don't know if you're. Let me just have a look. I don't know if you're regular or not, but thank you, Hayes. I don't mind people putting links in the chat to things that are relevant to the topic, but if you're just advertising in the channel, that's not really fair, to be honest. Okie dokie. Okay, so now we can do things to the logo. So let's start just by messing with the sprite colors. So let's actually, I think we've got some color ramps already, haven't we? But let me just create a color ramp in here anyway. So I'm just going to create a very simple one for now, and then we'll change this to a proper one. But let's just do that. Let's just fill the color ramp with that. Okay, so this is applying everything. Then once everything's been applied, we can update values. So let's increase the color ramp index. Hopefully there's enough time to do it. I think there will be. There's not an awful lot happens until the next sprite, so it should be fine, I think. I want to participate in regular prizes. I want to win some Spectrums. $100 is all yours. Okay, so load X with color ramp index, load Y with 0, and then we have a loop here. And now I'm going to load the accumulator. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, load the actually, I'm going to do it like this. Transfer the accumulator and it with 0f, transfer it back. Yeah, tell you what, do it like this. Okay. So load accumulator with color ramp X and store accumulator at intro sprite color, comma Y, increase Y, increase X, compare X to 1, 0, function is not equal to here. Call this loop. Y is load X with 0. Pair Y with 07. Friendship not equal. Okay, so this is probably going to happen very, very quickly. So I might have to put some timer in it, but hopefully we should see just colors moving through the logo very quickly. And if it works, then we can start picking the colors that we're going to do. Okay, it's happening too quickly, which is why we're getting this. Sorry, too slowly, which is why we're getting this weird flicker, which is actually making my eyes hurt. And the reason for that is because it's actually taking longer than this. Longer than this IRQ should take. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the apply logo sprite data in here. Actually, no, what I'm going to do, I think this should work actually. If I just take this out of here, I'll just do it in. Oh no, this is not doing it every. Oh, is this doing it every frame? Well, let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, it's happening very, very quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow that down. For load. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called now. Is it ZB Cat? There you go. Oh my god, why so many gaps? Okay, cool. I mean, obviously the color ramp is awful, but it's there. So we can change that to a decent color ramp. So if I just pick some values that go in here, so let's do a very, very basic one. So you do white, then you do yellow, and then you fade that from orange. Maybe a little bit longer on each one of these. 3, 6. Okay, so I mean it's very, very basic, but I just want to see if it looks a bit better. Okay, too slow. But yeah, there you go. So we have a logo. We'll change the colors on that at a later date. I'm not too fussed about that now. What I'm going to do is make it bounce up and down. But I really need to go to the toilet, so I'm going to have to take a quick 2-minute break, guys. So you get another quiz straight away. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. It's like Haze Chrome or plugin. Oh, auto clicks treasure chest, but oh, that's. Oh, might have to find that. I'll have to look back through the stream and find that. I want that as well. Oh, I know what this is. Who's going to get it? Nice. Another Braybrook game. This already looks kind of cool. I mean, you could technically get away with that as an intro, but I want more than this. I don't just want that. I want an actual credits and stuff in the middle. So, okay. So next job is we're going to make these move up and down. We've got about 45 minutes left. So probably the next stream is also going to be intro as well, but we'll just continue with the title stuff for now. Like I say, this is the only Saturday where I'm going to do the Mega 65 stuff. It's just because it's new. and I kind of want to show what I've done so far. But yeah, it looks kind of nice. I like it. Okay, let's make it move up and down. So that would be basically the I, the N, and the I will move separately from the P, the K, the M, and the X, which is kind of nice. That gives it a nice symmetry almost. So let's try that. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is going to be really quite simple. I'm going to create some more tables in here. They're going to be relatively small. They're going to be, well, just one actually. Sinus Y. Um, this is going to have 32 values in it, I think I'll put in. And what it's going to be is it's going to be a sine of whatever the I value is divided by 32 times pi times 2. This is basically going to go from 0 to 360 in terms of degrees, but this will be radians, radians instead. This is radian calculation here. Actually, I think there is a degrees to radians value somewhere, method in Kick, but I don't really need it for this. It's fine. So this is basically going to go through an entire cycle of a sine wave. And what we're going to do is we're going to work out how high we want it to be. So this is our the intensity of our animation. So we'll do 16 for now. We may have to change this, but let's just start with 16 plus our base value, which is this value here. And that's it, really. Then what we need to do in here is another one of these do it here. Should probably apply that all the time so that because this could work out being kind of out of sync a few times. Color ramp is obviously needs to be a little bit faster than the next one. So I'm going to put exit on here. Like so. This one will probably need to be less frequent. So I'm going to do this as like 7 or something like that. But the technique is pretty much the same, except we're going to space out two of the values. So instead of color ramp index now, I'm going to have sinus index. And there'll be two of these. I'm just going to do one first, and then when it works for one, I will split the characters into two separate pieces. So two separate groups, if you like. So now I'm going to copy all of this because this is pretty much the same, except now it's using sinus index. Let's do both of these here. For now, we're just going to use the first one. Oops. We're doing 1F because it's 32 values, not 16. And then we're going to load sinus Y, sorry. So, and this becomes intro sprite Y. So now the whole logo should bounce at pretty much the same rate. We might do some increment in here to change that, which I will demonstrate in a second. Let's just get this. I just want to see the logo moving for now. Oops. Okay, so it needs to be a bit quicker. It needs to move a little bit less than it is doing. And the center probably needs moving. So let's speed it up. reduce the amplitude. Let's reduce the amplitude down to 8. Actually, let's do C and move it up a little bit. Let's speed it up. Here. Oops, why is that not loading? Wrong button. Okay, so it's still moving too much and it's going too high now. So if we nudge it down and reduce the amplitude a little bit more, so let's reduce the amplitude to 8 and let's move it down to, let's do it there. Okay, just nudge it ever so slightly down a bit more. What I'm trying to avoid is the sprite causing glitches at the side, which it does. You see there, and it hits the bottom, it causes a glitch. So that's too far down. So I think up was fine. Let's knock that down 1 maybe. Try moving it like that. There we go. Let's try that. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do is this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase that to 1 0. And then in this, I'm going to repeat. But what I'm going to do is on this one, I'm going to use +1, and I'm going to start at 1. And this one, I'm going to do +0 and start at 0. And then this is going to increase twice each time. And this is going to be branch carry clear. And what we should get is interweaved. Okay. Not totally sold on that. If I increment that a few times. Hang on, maybe it's just going too high. Let's knock it right down. I think it's just moving too much. I think that's the problem. They're moving too far apart. Like that, maybe quicker again there. There you go. I like that. I don't know though. I kind of like the wave before as well. But I do like the kind of. It looks kind of playful when it's like that. That's kind of why I like it. I think the colors are wrong for a start, but for now, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. Yeah, this is the. Let me make it bigger for you. There you go. Wine. Quite slow on the wine tonight. I don't know why. It's quite a nice wine, though. I'm quite pleased with that one. Your name needs color cycling because you're top. Well, I mean, it's maybe something I will do. I mean, at the moment, the high score table is just there because I don't have any content for the intro yet, which I guess we can start thinking about now. So the way I suspect this is going to work is we will have several pages, if you like, for the intro screen. Each page will have a timer attached to it. It'd probably be the same. It would probably be like 5 or 10 seconds, maybe. And each screen will have each page will have a draw and an update. They will all share the same clear, or they could make sprite shaking going down. Is it just you? They shouldn't be. It could just be. It could be due to the desync between the stream and emulation. Yeah, it probably is an illusion with the color flashing stuff. So, but I kind of like that. I kind of think that looks nice. I mean, we could also just to be really kind of fancy, and let's try it out, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I'll get rid of it. Oh no, this isn't going to work because hang on, yes, it will work. I'm using a lot of tables here, but I don't care. Okay, so we can just keep using that value from there. Yeah, actually, this could end up looking quite good. I think this might look good. What do you think, guys? Bob. Can I randomize it between the two? Yeah, possibly. So all it's really doing here, right? So if you ignore the vertical, all it's doing is it's displaying each X position with an offset that's a sine wave. So there's a sine wave like that, and that's its, well, if you imagine it like that. So that's deciding how much from its base position does it move. But it's moving it each time it moves to a new letter, it's skipping through the sine wave. So each letter, so it's the whole thing isn't moving at the same time. It's moving like a spring. It's kind of flowing along the sine wave. and it's doing the same up and down as well, but it looks better kind of left and right, because there's 7 versus the 3 or 4 what it is when it goes up and down. So can I randomize which shows up? Yeah, I mean, I could maybe. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Actually, it might be worth making a change between the two. I also want to try a different color ramp now. Now I'm looking at this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find the color fade. We've got about half an hour left, so maybe we'll have some time to set the paging system up for the intro pages. Yeah, I do like the gold as well, but I just want to see if there's a more colorful one. So we've got a red background. So see, unfortunately, it does look like the gold is probably the most sensible choice on here anyway. Because, I mean, it's gold, except there's the pink in the middle. Let's try adding pink into the mixer. Let's have a look. So if we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if I reduce that to... Hang on, where does that pink go in that list? That pink goes before... Oh, but they've stuck a grey in there as well, so it would be here. So it'd be like that, and then that would be like that. So that could be like that. Let's see what it looks like with a pink in the middle as well. Might look shit, but no, I preferred it before actually. I think anyway. What do you think? Is that better than before or worse? Yeah, it does. It does kind of fit with the background a bit better, doesn't it? Wacky wave inflatable tube text. Yes. Now, the only reason why I've got it moving just that amount in the middle is because this is the X values here, right? So I'm only moving it with an amplitude of 15 in any direction, because if I go more than 15, it expands and we start needing the MSB as well. So this is a sneaky way of avoiding needing the MSB. But I think that works actually. I think I'm kind of happy with that. I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Um, it kind of looks all right. I like that, and I think I don't know what Warlock was thinking when I made this, but when he made the font, but I'm not sure if he knew I was going to be doing this with it without the pink. Okay, let's try it again without the pink. Let me just save the one I've got at the moment. All right. So this is it without the pink. So I'm trying to look at it on decent size. Okay, so that's without the. Actually, I think I prefer it with the pink. I just about prefer it with the pink. So that's the original. That's for the pink. I think the reason I like it with the pink is, as Microman said, it kind of ties it to the background a bit more. It still fits into the ramp, but it does tie it into the background a bit more. I mean, you could possibly go a little bit worse and add purple instead of brown, but I think that might kill it too much. Yeah, it makes the change exactly. It does. It kind of smooths it out, doesn't it? Okay, I just want to quickly check that everything's still working in the bonus screen and then the game over. As soon as we made these changes, and if those are fine, then I'm going to add some very basic stuff in for the intro pages. Even though I probably won't have time to do most of it, I can at least kind of set it up so it's ready to go. And then we'll get onto some Mega 65 stuff, which I've been looking forward to kind of showing you guys. Progress has been slow because I've had to discover things, and I really am discovering. I mean, I'm having to basically just load things up. If it doesn't work, shuffle code around, change some bits and bytes here and there, and see what happens. All right, let me get myself killed now. Just need to make sure that the game over. So there is a problem with the high score, and we need to fix that. Okay, I didn't get a high score. Okay, isn't discovery part of the fun? Yes, exactly. I'm absolutely loving it. So like with the, like I said, the Game Boy stuff, it's been more about just kind of researching on the internet. Somebody's already done pretty much everything I want to do, but with the Mega 65, that information just isn't there. So it's a new system that nobody really knows how to use. There's a handful of people that do know how to use it, and even they probably don't know everything that it's capable of doing. Although they probably know, they will know a hell of a lot better than us what the memory addresses do. And I'm really grateful that they do, because there's been questions I've needed to ask. As you'll see when I load the code up, there's some stuff. Right. You do. You know enough to point pointers in the right direction. But it's so much fun just kind of digging into it and working out kind of how things are working. So like I had some problems today when I was trying to scroll the screen. I tried to scroll the screen and it would just be a garbled mess. And I realized after a while that the changing values in D011, which is the vertical scroll register, as well as a few other things, sets the character modes and things like that. It actually breaks the screen base pointer, so you have to repoint the screen where it should be at memory and tell it how the dimensions of your screen, basically. Well, it took me ages to figure it out, but it was a discovery thing. I was just kind of digging around and messing around, and then I realized, whenever I put this line, oh, you need to fix that. Okay, well, I'll show you when I show the code. I'll show you what it's doing. Yeah, I will do. I didn't know if it was intentional or not, but yeah, you can turn off the, here we go. You can turn off the hot register function that resets the VIC4 register when touching it. Okay, cool. It is intentional. Okay, so hot register. Let me make a note of that, because if I can figure out how to turn that off, I mean, it really doesn't matter, because it's just part of my scroll routine, and the scroll routine happens in such a tiny bit of raster. I mean, I'm to the C64 regulars on the channel. What's happening? Actually, do you know what? I'll save it. I'll show you later. Okay, hot register. But it's stuff like that I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying the kind of exploration of it, like figuring out the difference between logical characters and clear bit 7 of D0. Okay, bit 7. We'll try that in a second then. D05D. We need the Mega 65 now. We can't refuse what Shalin is doing. Yeah. So I do enable Vic4 again. I tried. I will show you the code when I get to it. But I tried getting the Vic4 registers to be at D000 without mapping them, and I just couldn't do it no matter what I did. I've tried setting 0. I've tried setting 01. and I just cannot get it to work from Mega 65 mode. Now I realize that I'm loading. You'll see how I'm loading it in. I'm just basically injecting through the JTAG directly to the Mega 65 in Mega 65 mode, and because I'm loading some stuff that's beyond the 64K, it overwrites. It overwrites color RAM. It does some weird stuff where it does overwrite some things. So um, you'll see when I do it. So I need to come up with a loading system for it, so I'm not having to um, load all those blank zeros between my code and my upper memory. So I need to come up with a loading system for that. I just haven't had time to do it yet. I've literally just been doing palette and bitmap stuff. So I'm trying to write a tool. I've got the scripts in place, but I'll be writing a tool, probably in Electron or something like that, that will take an a sprite file and turn it into tiles, turn it into characters, into a full color character set with a palette. Um, uh, uh, uh. What did you enjoy watching? Yeah, I'm loving it. It's really good. It's really good fun. Um, I hope the Mega 65 hardware program will be much more documented than it used to be for the C64. Well, this is partly why I'm doing the videos, because while I've been doing the C64 stuff, I've had so many people come to me and say, even though they've found documentation, even though they've found forums, having somebody explain it to them through a video has been the only way they've been able to understand it. So what I'm trying to do is through the process of me learning how to use the Mega 65 is share that experience with you guys and hopefully do the same thing for you for that I've done with the C64 for the Mega 65, and get more people involved in it and get more people building stuff for it. It is very well documented at the moment, but as I said at the beginning of the stream, it's one of those things where um, documentation works best when you've got it coming from multiple sources. So it's really difficult to, because if you read one source of documentation and there's only one source, but it's written in a style that you just don't get on with, that's it. You're screwed. You don't really have somewhere else to go. So having multiple places where you can go to get this information is really useful. That's why forums are a good idea. That's why tutorial sites and blogs are a good idea. So the more people get involved, the more people write these things, the better. And I think that's the key to these things. That's what makes the C64 a fun machine to build for, because you do have multiple sources of documentation. For memory setup with IOC, okay. I think I looked at this and I couldn't. Yeah, see, oh, hang on. Let's set memory mode to that. Maybe I'm not doing this bit here. I'm not doing this map here. All right, I'm going to look into that very soon, because what I want to do, I think my next steps, now I've got the scroller working. My next steps are going through some decrunching and crunching and decrunching source code, and trying to adapt that for the Mega 65. Yeah, it's pretty much over now, to be honest. I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to very quickly set up a page system for this, and then I'll take a very short break while I top up my alcohol and go to the toilet, and then we'll do some Mega 65, and I can have these conversations then instead. It's very tangentible. Yes, I am. I am very. Oh yeah, fix the face right for the text. Thank you. That is definitely one thing I need to do. Okay, so that is actually here somewhere. So let's have a look at that in the debugger. We should see that in the sprites here somewhere. But we do not, and that's because it's being absorbed by one of these up here. So, in that case, what I need to do is I need to work out which sprite that's being used on. So it's in the intro, so it means it's in here. Oh shit, this might be a bit tricky. Thinking about it. So we do have a sprite pointer, which is, where is the sprite pointers? Is it that one, B2? Yeah, I think it might be that one actually. And so it's these values here. Okay. So I'm just going to keep those together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and stick those in here. We are going to have to check the bonus and game over again here. But yes, thank you, SP, for pointing that out. That definitely needs fixing first. Where's our transitions? Here we go. So there is a transition at the bottom somewhere. I think it's actually it's before all of that, isn't it? It's like it's not the very last one. It's going to be it's this one, I think. Yes, because this is where the scroller is as well. So let me just put that in here like that and see what happens. I have a feeling it's going to need colors set in and things like that. Yes, so it's there, but the color's wrong, and it's wrong up here now. So we need to make sure we flick that back on the intro and set it down here. Okay, so I'm going to do it here because this is the title screen. And I am going to set the color of that, which oh, that was the wrong thing. Hang on. What did I actually add? Oh, it's this bit here, wasn't it? Okay. Let's put this in here. Scroll and fade. Okay. So I got that quiz and got no points. Did somebody get it before you? Maybe somebody got it before you. Yeah, Mr. G got it before you. But remember that the you can send those quiz through private message as well. Hey, Valley Sip. I've not seen you before. Welcome. You won't get me. No free points for you, mister. Okay, so just need to set the color of this. Oops. I can set it to yellow, and that will need to be T029, which should fix the pointer at the bottom, but we need to fix the pointer at the top as well. So back we go up here to this section here, and it's just this, but with 2 as well. So we already got one set up. So okay, that should fix that. And if this works, I think I will take a quick break and then it's from the Chipfest stream. Very good. Cool. Why's that not loading? What's going on? Oh, there we go. Excellent. Excellent. And now we've got our character fading in the corner here, which looks a lot better. So we need a shimmer fest. Oh no. No, that's not good, is it? I still don't know to this day. So I had a Commodore 64 C and I had an Amiga 600, and I still to this day do not know what I did with them. I kind of think that I kind of think that I probably left them at home. I can't remember how I left home actually, but yeah. Anyway, whatever. Right, I'm going to take a quick break, guys. It's going to be about 5 minutes. I'll try and be as quick as I can, but I do need to go to the toilet. I just want to kind of refresh my alcohol. I think I'm running out of wine now, but I don't think I've got any more wine. I have got another bottle of cider though, so I'll grab that. And then we'll go through what I've done on the Mega 65. I'll update the stream title as well to make it Mega 65 related. But I'll try and be as quick as I can. Okay, be right back.